for having me on board and, being here today. I've been doing this thing for a while and I've seen the ups and downs. I experienced it personally, ups and downs in this space in the very beginning, kind of learned my ways. And with credit to, I have to say, the Oracle. And from there, here on out, I kind of just paved my own lane and ways about how to go about things. And once you start to get the feel of how the space is played and how you play it, then it's like you could kind of just take is all I can say about it. And so it's always about opportunities. There's so many of them out there all the time, good ones, right? And then there's a lot of bad ones out there, right? And it's kind of deciphering, well, how do you know, right? Yeah. And it's hard. It's to be honest, it is hard. Sometimes it's just luck. And then there are times that we just pick good ones. And, and part of that is what Rashid was saying, was just doing the research about it, trying to see if there's any sort of past in terms of reputation, if there is any, and just trying to find a lot of information as possible. And what I do is I always like to provide that information and just to put it out there for everybody to just, all right, I try to do my best to provide all this information as possible. That way you guys can decide if this is something for you or not. It's not a big deal. I always say I don't tell nobody what to do. I always, preach on it's the power of choice, right? Because you guys make that choice. You guys have the power in your mind to make that decision based on what you see, what you hear, what you do. And so all I try to do is just put that information out there in the beginning, just as much as, and this is something that a lot of YouTubers don't do, is when something goes wrong, if there's an issue, things like that, I always like to put that out there as well. And if it does happen to come to an end, well, it comes to an end, and I put that out there as well. And so, I try to keep it as fair and balanced as possible, because nobody else does it out there like that. So that's my whole point of why I do what I do. And now going to this, when the coach here brought this opportunity and he said, hey, check this out, right? So I listened to the audio recording. It was kind of like an audio, like a Zoom call, but it was on audio of this Fidelity Coinhub group. And the presenter, his name is Tina. She was talking about how this whole thing works and the inner workings of it, the background of the company, how they come into play. And the more she was talking, the more I was just like, wow, this is really fascinating. And you could tell it was really just grabbing the people that were involved in this Zoom call and conference call, I guess. And I was just, wow. And it was grabbing me too, because I was just like, wow, this is a really tremendous opportunity. And as you start digging into it more, it's like, wow, this is what I say is something definitely different. And I look at it as it's definitely going to be a game changer in this space. And so that's the whole thing about it with, Coinhub, Fidelity. And I know there's going to be a lot of questions about, Fidelity as the home base, I guess, company, and Coinhub, and how does it come together, all that stuff, right? I've kind of touched on it if you watch my videos, but this today is about trying to dig into all that, show you guys how this whole thing works, and then you guys decide for yourself if, hey, you know what, this is interesting, or you know what, I'll watch for a while and see how this thing, plays out, or you know what, this is not for me, and we're welcome to, keeping it open and all that. And it's, again, power of choice is for you guys to decide. And so that's where this is all about today. Yeah. And to me, again, from the coach, this is really, I look at it like, wow, this is a crazy good opportunity. And, this is what we're going to do today. So, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's awesome. Awesome. No, absolutely. Absolutely. We're about to go ahead. I don't know if, like I said, this is so new that, we hadn't even had a chance to connect and say, hey, this is how we're going to do this collectively. We're just rolling on the energy and our expertise in this particular space to present this to you. I do have some information, but I wanted to see if you wanted to pop anything out there right now, if you need to share a screen or anything, or if you want to do the kind of after I go through kind of the presentation to show people how to maneuver through the actual app, some of the things that you showed on the video, if that's okay, if you want to do some of that after I do the kind of the quick overview.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, great, because I don't have those slides. But what we want to show you today is why when we looked at this one, we were like, whoa, this is fascinating because of what happened recently. And right on the heels of that, we have something that is this powerful. Before I go too far in, I will kind of tell you how I got introduced to this particular program, which is very interesting as well. But yes, so what we're going to talk about today is how Fidelity Applied Technology Center and CoinHub have developed an unmatched AI quantitative trading platform for everybody. Right. And so it doesn't just lend itself to institutional investors, but also the average person like me and you. Very, very cool. Fidelity International, what do we know? Fidelity Blockchain and FinTech Research, what do we know? CoinHub and AI Quantitative Trading for Investor Opportunity, what do we know? Right. And so within that, I'm going to talk about, if you're in the US, you probably know the term Fidelity investments. Okay. So that's one thing. I want you to just hold on to that thought for a second. You may or may not have heard of Fidelity International. I didn't know the term until I did some research. So we're all adults. So if you're, I've had some, interesting times when people don't understand something, or if the terms are the jargon is new to them, sometimes they ask questions that really are not in a good sense. They may be coming from a place of how negative can I be? And because of past failures in their own particular space, in their own particular investments, they want to drag that into the questioning of a new program. So what I would ask people, when you do ask questions, we will happily go all in to make sure you get a legitimate background research, DOYR, do your own research. And doing my research between me, Crypto Muscle, and anybody else on here, because there's a lot of people that I've talked to on here that they've looked into it as well. And so just make sure that you're being professional about it. You're being respectful when you ask your question, right? Because I'm going to tell you, very new to this program, but I've done a lot of work and just to make sure that I can give you the depth of information that's required to at least take a deeper look, even if you don't make a decision, because you may not have that risk tolerance like me or some of the other guys on here. But if you do, then you know it's time to get started. But if you're not at that level and you just have some more questions, then you have to do your own research to get to that level, right? But one thing you don't want to happen is you don't want to miss this opportunity. That right there, I can definitely tell you based upon what I've seen. And, oh, okay. I'm sorry. He didn't get the link. All right. So, all right, Crypto Muscle, I'm sorry, man. I tried to send this link to a partner of mine and he didn't get it. So I'm resending it. Man, I'm sorry about that, guys. This is so new. I don't want anybody to miss out that actually wants the information. So, all right, here we go. All right, we're good. All right. All right. So, hey, welcome, guys. This is what we know, right? This is what I'm gonna talk about. This is what we know, and that's what I want to go in on. As I have not had an opportunity. I had about a couple hours of sleep because I worked on this for about 6 hours, in the last 6 hours, literally, and so when you normally do a presentation, believe me, I've been down that road on formal training. This is supposed to be bullets, but I'm going to break that rule today because I want you to get the raw information. So bear with me. I know you can read, but I'm going to go through this real quick for the people that may not be looking or just listening, right? So bear with me. This is vitally important to set the stage for what else you're going to see today. Fidelity International or Fidelity Fund. You'll hear the term Fidelity Fund. You probably won't hear the term Fidelity International. You'll hear Fidelity Fund. Those are the same thing. They are directly managing 300 billion in assets. They are a subsidiary of Fidelity Investments with a 72-year history and $7 trillion in assets under management. Now, investing heavily in AI, blockchain, and virtual reality technologies, investing $2.5 billion in technology research and development every year, and has successfully established the Fidelity Center of Applied Technology, Fidelity Lab, to promote innovation. This is Fidelity Investments is a financial company, investments company in the US, right? That's why I want you to really capture this. And a lot of people don't get it because they're like, why is an actual Fidelity Investments a financial icon, for over 72 years in the US? Why are they into AI quantitative trading? And that's what I want you to, you're going to see in a few minutes on my agenda about connecting the dots, because you really got to get that, wrap that around your head, is that they're not in the tech space. And when you start to see the dots, and you start to see how I connect them, hopefully I'll connect them for you so that everybody will say, I get it now. And that's what I'm really trying to get at. And so I wanted to give you just that little context. So Fidelity, they had Fidelity Center of Applied Technology, Fidelity Lab, pretty much the same thing, to promote innovation. In terms of blockchain, because we're talking about blockchain and AI, Fidelity Investments participated in mining Bitcoin when it was $180. Think about that for a second. They're not new to this. That's the first thing I want you to understand. Took the lead incorporating with COINBASE, a leading digital currency exchange, which everybody knows, and established an independent blockchain incubator to explore the application of blockchain technology. This is Fidelity Investments, a 72-year-old company with $7 trillion in assets under management. They are leading the charge behind the scenes in blockchain and AI technology research. Now, in order to actively deploy digital finance and AI intelligent quantitative trading, moving it forward to where we are today, in 2012, taking it back, 10 years, Fidelity Fund, this is Fidelity International, formally invested, like they actually did it, right, in Drive Wealth. That's another word you're going to hear, Drive Wealth. They're a middleman in this, a pioneer in the field of zero equity trading, and quickly built it into an industry benchmark in the field of digital economic trading with a market value of over $3 billion. In 2021, here we are again. This is like the third time that they're showing you that they're really deep into this. Now, what I told you earlier, Fidelity International is a subsidiary of Fidelity Investments. So Fidelity Investments is funding all of this. They're not physically doing all of this, right? And so I'm trying to connect the dots for you, right? So Drive Wealth is the actual pioneer in this zero equity trading piece, okay? Benchmark in the field of digital economic trading. Massive in this space. In 2021, Fidelity Fund formally acquired CoinHub through Drive Wealth Okay, that right there is essential to the whole thing that we're going to talk about. Introducing AI intelligent quantitative trading technology into the field of traditional financial investment and asset management. So I hope that I gave you a little context of where we're going throughout the whole presentation today. All right. So here's our agenda. I know you said, well, I thought that was it. No, that was just an introduction. Goal statement. You know what my goal statement is? To make you aware of this opportunity. That's my goal statement. I'm going to connect the dots for you, right? That is the purpose of giving you that context with all of the different pieces, because you have to understand when somebody says Fidelity, who are they talking about? And that's where most of the concerns for people that understand that company and what they've done in the US. And I say that because it is a US company. It is not an international company. Just follow me now. So I'm gonna connect the dots for you on all of that. So the people that have a question in their mind about, well, how is a Fidelity Investments involved in this type of business? Because a lot of people don't really understand how that connection works, right? And they just kind of have questions that go sideways when it comes to this. So I'm gonna connect the dots for you. That's the purpose of this whole presentation. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, there's a video, it's about a 4-minute video, very good at explaining every single thing that I'm going to talk about the tech behind this opportunity, how this opportunity that we're going to give you today, how it even got to this point, why is it so powerful, and there's nobody else doing what they're doing. Then we're going to explain each part. We're going to talk about Fidelity Center of Applied Technology, so you'll understand what their role is in this. What is FMR? I'm going to talk about that as well. A lot of people get caught up in these acronyms. Who and why is DriveWealth? What role do they play? Who is CoinHub? What role do they play? What is the best crypto investment opportunity? And then we're going to show you and walk you through exactly what is being offered in the opportunity and why I say it's a COTPS, maybe 2.0 or reboot, but better, just so you know. Future launches underway, and those are some of the things that are literally happening. And there's a white paper. I forgot to throw that in. There is a white paper that you can read if you so desire, and it really has a great risk management portion in there. All right. So we're gonna talk about connecting the dots. All right, connecting the dots. Fidelity Fund and FCAT, which is the Fidelity FC code. Lord. So that is the Fidelity Center of Applied Technology. All right. So the Fidelity Center of Applied Technology, we have the DriveWealth, different company, and then we have CoinHub and the Dapp, or the decentralized application. And so those three really make up this opportunity. And why do I have CoinHub and the Dapp as the bigger piece of that? Is because it actually is what we want to lead up to, and then we're going to spend the most time on, right? So let me give you just a little bit on each one of those. I want you to understand that when I talk about Fidelity Fund and FCAT, the FCAT is sponsored, is funded by Fidelity Investments. Fidelity Investments is the 72-year-old company. It was created in 1946, and to this day, it is still a powerhouse in the world. Okay, so let me see if I can show you something right quick, so you'll know, kind of how I got to that. And I want to make sure, transparent. I want you to, no issues on this side. All right. So I'm trying to pull that up for you right quick. All right, let's go here. Let's go here. All right. So if you can see this screen, this is where the research happens, right? So I'm giving you this because I'm just letting you guys know I will happily provide anybody with the links to what I'm talking about, because I didn't just make this stuff up. I went to the Telegram group. There's a specific group that you can find information about. Then we went through, there's a multitude of videos as well. And I have everything I'm talking about today is referenced here. So I'm just saying those are some of the links that I used in order to provide this presentation with this background information for you today. That's really what I want to make sure that you have this information, because I know what the questions are. And I've had, many people that's close to me in this business have asked some very serious questions, and it helped me to go and get the answer. So I just wanted to make sure that I let you know that I can show you exactly where this information is if you want to go ahead and pull it out, because I'm not going to be showing you a lot on the slides. I'm going to be talking about the background information that I did find. Okay. So I just want you to know that. Okay. So that is the background. So when I look at this, where it says Fidelity Fund, then the Fidelity Fund is a subsidiary of Fidelity Investments. So when you hear the term Fidelity, then some people are talking about Fidelity Investments, and sometimes they're talking about Fidelity Fund or Fidelity International. Okay. Two different companies, but one is a subsidiary of the other. So it really doesn't matter if you're talking about either one. There's still the funding for the FCAT, that's the Fidelity Center of Applied Technology. They're the ones that took it upon themselves, funded by Fidelity, the proper Fidelity, the parent company, to do the research on blockchain and partner with COINBASE, and went through SoftBank, which is their vendor capital arm, to purchase DriveWealth, and then went through DriveWealth to purchase CoinHub, right? So that's where the connection is. It's not a matter of, hey, if I say Fidelity and somebody over here says, I got accounts with Fidelity Investments, for 30, 40 years, I got retirement accounts, I got IRAs, I got 401ks, I got all of that. How are they doing this trading stuff? Because they can't connect the dots, and you will run into people like that. So I'm purposely today saying, and I've never done this with any platform. Today, I said, man, it's a lot of moving parts. And I don't think people really capture how powerful this is, because we have looked for something that had some longevity mechanics, right? We've listened to people come on screen and talk about their company, their platform, saying that they're going to do all these great things, and just a couple of months go down and things just don't work out as planned. And today you could be saying, well, yeah, sounds good, everything looked great, but how do you don't know. I can't guarantee anything, right? And Crypto Muscle said it, at the beginning. We provide information and education. That's what we do. Promotions, not really. I'm just promoting the fact that I'm doing something, but I'm not promoting it to the point where I give my left arm for the company, because I can't go to that level for you. But what I can do is make sure that what they're saying is legit, right? And that's the question. Is it legit? Is there a connection between Fidelity Investments, a 72-year-old investment icon in the US, that has a subsidiary for international, which is Fidelity International? They're the international side of the investment company. Okay. So you may not have heard Fidelity Investments if you're outside the US. You may have heard of Fidelity International or Fidelity Fund. There is a Fidelity Invest Venture Capital as well, which they go through SoftBank to do that, right? And they make purchases. So that will never be connected with Fidelity Investments on any paperwork anywhere. So you won't be able to find that information. So somebody could easily say, oh, they're not connected because I don't see that. But you're not going to see it because it's going through other subsidiaries. And so that's why you're not going to see a connection between the Fidelity Investments and the CoinHub, or so on and so forth. That's why I needed to give you what's in between them, right? So you'll understand they are the ones that started the research and the technology, so that Coinbase and CoinHub and DriveWealth could go ahead and create this decentralized application through the technology of AI quantitative trading for all. Okay. So hopefully that connected the dots on these particular essential pieces of the puzzle. And I want to, and if you have any questions, if you want to type them in the chat, just, if you, so you won't forget, or at the end, we will, obviously open it up for Q&A. So don't worry if you do have, questions as we go. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them. If not, at least you can put those in there, and we'll make sure we get you some answers. And so right here, I only wanted to address Fidelity International. So there is another side to this particular slide, but I took that off because I'm going to talk about that side later. So on Fidelity International itself, when I first saw the opportunity, right, and a good friend of mine, Timmy, out of Atlanta, he always, hit me up 2, 3 in the morning and say, hey, man, I got something hot I want you to check out. It's very cool. He's somebody that I trust, somebody that I know, if he's going to bring something, it's probably something I should look at. And when you're getting, 3 and 4, opportunities to look at a day, from 90% of the time, it's strangers, and that's okay. The opportunity, it will speak for itself. It is a challenge to try to go through all of that. But believe you me, I actually look at most of the things that people send me. But when somebody I know that I have some trust and been working with before, this right here, I'm glad I didn't say, I was like, whoa, and I didn't sleep that night. So here's the thing about Fidelity International. You can go to, that's why I said I'm putting my references here, because I don't want nobody, you do your own research, which I've done it for you, but you can go look for yourself. And I'm going to tell you, it was so good to find out, because I needed to connect the dots. Because for me, when I first heard Fidelity, all I thought about was the parent company. When I saw the F, I was like, wait a minute, that's a different company. I said, oh man, that's not going to fly, because anybody that's in this space and been burned from other, projects recently really are going to say, whoa, any little thing is going to set it off, and you're really going to miss out on a great opportunity. It's not a matter of if you want to do it or not do it, or you join or don't. It doesn't matter in that sense. But you just have to give yourself an opportunity to do your own research to see if this one is the one that is actually doing and set up in the right way, right? And if it is, then all the bumps and bruises and all the ups and downs and that history of things not working, guess what? You finally got to one that you can hold, hang your hat on and not have to worry about anything else for a very long time. And that's why I needed to dig in, because I said, this one really feels like, the legacy and long-term play that I and many others have been looking for. And so, if you know anything about me, if you followed anything that I've done over the last year, I've built a great community on Telegram, Facebook, and these different places. And over time, when people don't have the level of risk capital or have the level of disposable income or money to, quote unquote, test out some of these things, and they lose it, then normally they don't come back. After they lose it one time, they feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing that again. And that's okay, right? That's a choice, and we get it. We understand it. I got to a point where I just didn't want to see or deal with any of this stuff ever again, because I had some really major letdowns along the way, right? And we all go through that. But I'm gonna tell you, I've listened to successful people, and they say you'll fail more than you succeed, because if you fail 10 times, you only need one time to work. And when that one time works, it will definitely outweigh all the other learning experiences that you had. Therefore, I like to say, when something goes up or down, keep it moving, right? That's the only way to make it work, is to keep it moving. So if you want to go to Wikipedia and you want to look up Fidelity International, I'm going to tell you what you're going to find. You're going to find it says that in 1946, Fidelity Investments was created. Fidelity Investments had another division called FMR, Fidelity Management and Research, right? FMR, Fidelity Management and Research. That was the precursor to Fidelity Center for Applied Technology. Okay, so connecting the dots for you, moving you to the Coinhub Dapp. Fidelity International was created in 1969 as the international arm of Fidelity Investments. So when you hear the term Fidelity in this program, we're not talking about Fidelity Investments. That's where people are getting confused. Fidelity Investments funded all the research to get us to this point. Fidelity International, the international arm, is the ones that purchased the drive wealth. after they purchased Drive Wealth, they purchased CoinHub through Drive Wealth. Okay. So all of these things are connected, but you're not going to find them at the beginning. You're only going to find them if you continue down this path. Okay. So that's where you'll run into problems for people that don't do their own due diligence. They don't do their own research. They're going to try to challenge you on one thing. You said Fidelity, and all they're thinking about is Fidelity Investments. It's not Fidelity Investments. They're the ones that funded it. They're behind it, but they're not the face of it. Okay. So a lot of moving parts here. Think about it. If you're a large corporation that has $7 trillion, right, assets under management, you have a lot of subsidiaries out there. If you're getting into the blockchain space and that's not what you do, you're not going to run that. You're going to purchase a company that does it. It makes sense, right, for people that think. So that's the bridge between the companies, right? I hope that everybody got that, because I think I covered that pretty well. If not, it's okay. I'm happy to take questions on any of those areas. When I talk about Fidelity, you see the Fidelity right there, right? If you go to the website, I can give you the website. I thought I put it on here, but I didn't. Fidelity Center for Applied Technology. They're the ones that did all the research for us to get to where we are with the opportunity we're going to show you today. That's why I thought this was important to provide as a background for the research involved. And if you read here, it just gives you a little information about, and right there on the website, it talks about it on the website, Fidelity Center for Applied Technology, which is part of Fidelity Labs, LLC, right? LLC. That means they're not Fidelity Investments. They are a separate company that's funded by Fidelity Investments Company. Okay. So don't get people, don't let them throw you off when they start challenging you with these questions. So FCAT experiments with and provides innovative products, service, content, and tools as a service to all its affiliates and as a subsidiary of FMR LLC. FMR is a Fidelity Investments company called Fidelity Management and Research. They're all tied together. So have no fear. When somebody says Fidelity, it's all good. It's all good. I hope you guys are kind of getting what I got when I first heard this. And then when I started doing the research, peel back the onion, I'm telling you, every moment was more exciting than the last because of how powerful this is. This is what we've been looking for in this space. Drive Wealth. I talked about Drive Wealth, right? Our vision on their website. There's the, I chose to put, there's a lot of other ones, but I chose to put this particular link because it's the actual press release that I know Crypto Muscle, I know he had it on his video, so you can reference that. And right here, it gives you a lot, it just gives you all of the parts in that particular press release. So I didn't, I said, I'll just give you that so you can look at all the different parts all in one place. You can see all of that. And they talked about what they do, and so when you see all these companies and how they fit together, then you'll really get why this is the most exciting thing we've seen in a long time. Financial, mobile, transactional, and fractional. If you understand stocks, right, you hear the term fractional stocks, because just like with hubs in another organization, you can buy partial hubs. In here, you can buy fractional stocks. You can buy fractional, well, you're not buying any stock, but the company Drive Wealth, just to show you that they're already in that space. So when they purchased this company, then they knew that they need this company in order to do the other things that they're going to do with that research. And so they wanted to make sure it's easy, and they were already in this space to make sure people are able to use, a mobile or, be mobile while they're trading, and not to have to purchase large amounts like institutional investors, but give everybody, like they said, access to markets for new investors around the world. They want everybody to have an opportunity to participate in the US stock market as well as globally. And that's where that comes from. There was a story about how they were working with, it's called Drive Wealth India. And there was another one called CoinHub India. So, they're definitely international when it comes to doing these things. well before they were purchased by Fidelity. Okay, so those are the moving parts that I wanted to connect for you, and so I think that you're doing all right. Okay, so Fidelity and CoinHub. So you'll see this frequently as you go through your journey of learning more about this opportunity. Okay, now I want to do a quick summary of what I talked about, and I think you'll capture everything that I talked about and what we're going to talk about in this particular summary. Fidelity International, right, is a subsidiary of Fidelity Investments, purchased Drive Wealth and used their venture capital partner SoftBank to purchase CoinHub. Fidelity funded the blockchain, AI, and quantitative trading research in partnership with COINBASE, and eventually used that research to start the fractional trading via CoinHub that we're going to talk about today. All right. So what I want to do, okay, right. Let me go through these last two, and then I'm going to show you a quick video that really brings all this home. So CoinHub, because I talked about all the other ones, I wanted to go ahead and throw in. So CoinHub itself is wholly owned by Fidelity Funds or Fidelity International, same company, a financial giant found in 1946. Now, I know that says that Fidelity International was broken off or became a subsidiary of Fidelity Investments in 1969, but their parent company was born 1946, right? And so it doesn't really matter. It's just, you know, people can pick at that if they want. But if I was under a 72-year-old icon of a financial company and I have a little company that I just started, guess what I'm going to say? Yeah, we with this partner right here where we were founded in 1946. That's just, you know, you're just connecting yourself to that parent company. And that to me is what I get from them saying that Fidelity Funds was 1946, because the dates are not the actual company. You'll see this in Wikipedia, and there was another article I saw that talked about that. So if somebody tries to ask you a question about, well, when I look up Fidelity Funds, it doesn't show that they were created in 1946. That's Fidelity Investments. Okay, yeah, you're right, it is. But that's their parent company, so maybe they're just using that because of being connected with the parent company. You know, no reason to split hairs over that. The evidence is there that they're connected, so it's all good. With nearly 300 billion in investments, like I told you at the beginning, in Asia Pacific, Europe, Middle East, and South America. This Fidelity Funds, Fidelity International, is the international part of Fidelity Investments. So just like I said earlier, that's what the research shows. That's why they don't include America in that 300 billion, because there's $7 trillion under investment, assets under management with their parent company. That is a US based and US, you know, financial regulations and everything. So they had to create another one to handle outside the US, but Fidelity Investment is for the US. So just know why those two are there. All right. So gradually introducing projects over 100 billion in assets under management into era of AI, intelligent quantitative trading. So when we get to the quantitative trading and you see the app, then the app says CoinHub, because they're the ones that are managing this particular program. CoinHub has places in the US, in UK, in Japan, and the headquarters is in Singapore. So when you hear a video and you hear an Asian voice, it's because they're based in Singapore, just so you kind of connect the dots on that. When you look at some of the terminologies that's used, you'll know that that's not US or UK talk in some of the words that are used, then because they're based in Singapore, and they're probably allowing the Singapore, you know, culture and how they say different things, that's probably built into the platform. All right. So don't get caught up with the terminology and you know, say, I don't get this, or I don't understand this. That's okay. Just, you know, ask the question in the chat, or come to me or Crypto Muscle or anybody that's been in it a while. And hey, I got a list of terms that I was like, what does this mean? I know what I think it means, but can you give me a breakdown so I'll make sure I say the right things? I don't want to give people the wrong information. So that was something that I do like right up front. You use different terms. I think I know what that means, but what does that mean, right? And so I did get some feedback on that, but there's videos that explain it, and you can really kind of connect the dots on if something that says redemption, it means withdraw. It's the same thing, it's just different terms. So I think that's because they are headquartered in Singapore and they allow them probably to create this whole app. And so that kind of takes you down this rabbit hole to, I connected all these dots with the companies. Now we got CoinHub, and that's right on the cusp of the actual presentation for the opportunity, but it's headquartered in Singapore. So now you'll understand when you hear more about the app and the terms and things like that, you won't get confused and say, well, you know, is this really connected? Is it not connected? And no, it's all there, right? All right. So with that being said, I know you're like, look, Rashid, some of you are saying, I ain't trying to hear all this. Why you go through all of that? Some of you are saying, just get to the, man, look, I just want to know how I'm gonna make some money with this opportunity. I get it, right? That's how I was, but I know the questions that I got from some really, really close people, I wanted to make sure that, you know what, if they're asking me this and they're in this game, then I definitely want to, I know that other people are going to ask that too. And that's why I always talk to people close to me in my circle and ask them, I see this, I'm excited, I'm ready to jump in. What do you think? And I'm gonna tell you, I get some hard questions, and sometimes I'm like, God, dog, man. So believe me, I don't take this lightly. I don't play with this. I do my research, and after the last few ups and downs in this space, I think I've doubled up on the research piece. All right. So just want to say that I see a little mark on the screen. Sometimes people, you know, maybe have a tablet or something and you rub it up against something. So hopefully that's nobody's intentionally distracting themselves by writing on the screen. So definitely if you're moving around or if you hit the screen, just try to avoid that so we can go ahead and show you this piece right here. All right, and then we're going to dive right into the presentation of the actual platform that we brought you here for. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this video so you'll get a good picture of, you know, how they put this thing together, and you see if it supports what I just talked about. All right.
As the flood of the digital economy era is rolling in, the relationship between cryptocurrency assets and daily life has become increasingly close, and the development, trading, management, and appreciation of digital assets are also becoming the hottest topic in the field of global digital economy. When the numerous node data generated by blockchain and the productivity leap created by AI intelligent algorithm converge and blend in the era of digital economy, an unprecedented revolution has come, and the era of AI intelligent quantitative trading platform has officially kicked off. In order to solve a series of problems faced by individual investors in cryptocurrency investment, large income fluctuation, difficult technical operation, and high investment threshold, Fidelity Fund combines the quantitative intelligent iterative model with the neuron learning algorithm and AI technology to produce a new technology, AI Intelligent Quantitative Trading Algorithm. As a new technology based on blockchain and AI technology, AI Intelligent Quantitative Trading Algorithm can integrate the data factors and encrypted derivative data generated on each node in the chain into a new transaction decision factor database. Through PB quantification, multi-factor currency selection, turtle trading, cross-currency arbitrage, plate rotation, arbitrage analysis and statistics, grid trading, high-frequency trading, equal string, and other models, it makes multi-level and multi-angle analysis on node data, conducts trades according to probability calculation, and achieves a more secure, transparent, decentralized, and efficient asset management experience of arbitrage. With the popularity of decentralized finance in the world, AI intelligent quantitative trading has also won the favor of many international top investment institutions. Fidelity Fund, with 72 years of history and $7 trillion in assets under management, Fidelity Investment is investing heavily in artificial intelligence, blockchain, and virtual reality technology. It invests $2.5 billion in technology R&D every year and has successfully established Fidelity Application Technology Center and Fidelity Laboratory to promote innovation. In terms of blockchain, when Bitcoin was $180, Fidelity was engaged in, took the lead in cooperating with Coinbase, a leading digital currency exchange, and established an independent blockchain incubator to explore the application of blockchain technology. In 2012, in order to actively lay out digital finance and AI intelligent quantitative trading, Fidelity Fund officially invested in DriveWell, a pioneer in the field of zero equity trading, and quickly built it into an industry benchmark in the field of digital economy trading, with a market value of more than $3 billion. In 2021, Fidelity Fund officially acquired Coinhub through DriveWell, introducing AI intelligent quantitative trading technology into the field of traditional financial investment and asset management. With the capital, team, and technical support provided by Fidelity Fund, Coinhub has attracted more than 300 elites in the financial technology industry and has been recognized by governments and digital financial institutions in many countries with the three advantages of full range of transaction varieties, open financial community, and rich financial instruments. While compatible with all kinds of encrypted asset management services, Fidelity Fund will also build Coinhub into a bridge linking AI intelligent quantitative trading with NFT, DeFi, GameFi, SocialFi, MetaFi, and other fields by introducing IDO technology, so as to create a better asset management experience for global investors. In order to promote the full popularization of AI intelligent quantitative trading in the field of digital economy, and even in the field of traditional asset management, Fidelity Fund will also make more high-quality capital and industry resources produce greater transaction value through Coinhub AI intelligent quantitative trading in 2022. And by integrating multidimensional resources, it will make every effort to build the world's first digital financial transaction mode, integrating artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and quantitative transaction. Fidelity Fund, the AI intelligent quantitative investment platform, the ecological leader of global digital financial transactions.
All right. There you have it. I hope that you enjoyed that video. Like I said, that was something that gave me really a good tech depth of the way they got to where we are today. So now I'm going to quickly go through the actual what the company, what the actual platform that we here for. I know a lot of people probably itching, like, come on, Rashid, get to it. So I'm going to give it to you. So Coinhub has created a top cryptocurrency AI quantitative investment platform. And on that platform, it's called Coinhub. So we already talked about who Coinhub is. We're going to get into, and there was another screen. Like I said, I put these together like, 3 in the morning or something. And so there may be a couple that are out of sequence, but I will cover the information that you want to know. So as somebody interested in the Coinhub AI quantitative trading platform and business opportunity, then these are some of the things that you're going to want to know. And it's very straightforward, something that you probably very familiar with, right? So pay attention. I'm going to go through it, like I said, a little pretty quick. All right. So with Coinhub, there's a few things that you're going to see, right? Because I may not have all the slides here because I had to pull these from different sources. And so I want to make sure that I cover everything. One, you're going to see something called pledge. Pledge is like your deposit that you're going to earn static income. Static income is like passive income. So just think of it as passive income. It's static. It's not moving. You don't have to do anything. You're not working. Your money is working for you when it's static income, right? And so that's what's all righty. All right. Make sure we got people muted. So we are going to talk about static income, right? Just think of it as like passive income. When you deposit and they're doing the trading in the background, then this right here is what Coinhub calls static income. Okay. So to get to the static income, you have to do something called pledge, right? And so on the app, you'll hit the, after you put your funds in all this, and you hit pledge, and that will put it into the app. And when it goes to the app, it goes into the trading. One thing that I did find out recently, literally last night, is that they're doing arbitrage trading as well. Not only they're doing arbitrage, quantitative, and man, whatever he said on the video. But they are doing and their AI is looking at over 200 exchanges across the globe. So that's really important to understand as well. And so definitely, if you have a vibe and a like for what arbitrage trading does for your profits, then you're in the right place. All right. So pledge basically means that you made a deposit and you're going to earn in the trading piece off of that. Now, the maximum that they're going to pay per day now from the static income perspective is 1.8% per day. Now, there are boosts to that number all the way up to 3%, right? And they have incentive going on where it could go higher. So just want you to know that. So kind of pay attention to the numbers and how it works out. So initially, when you pledge or deposit your funds, then you're going to have to choose how long you want those funds working for you until you have to maneuver them. You can take them out, you reinvest, you choose what you want to do with your funds. Well, you're going to have a pledge period of 1 day. You have a pledge period of 7 days, 30 days, and 90 days. So you choose one of those. Now, if you choose 1 day, then the force value, which is your ROI, is going to be 0.2 up to 0.8% per day. Okay. So that's if you do it for 1 day. If you do it for 7 days, whatever amount, you do that for 7 days, then they're going to give you a income ratio between 0.4 and 1%. When you do a 30-day pledge, then they're going to give you 0.6 to 1.4%, right? So it's always a range. So they're not giving you, hey, you're going to get exactly this, because it's actually in the trading process. And so you're going to get a range here. Then 90 days pledge, then you're going to get between 0.8 and 1.8. Just for the record, I did, I heard on the conference call, I listened to another call last night that I don't know, it just popped up, and I was like, oh, let me listen to this. And they gave, so between 1.4 and 1.5%, not for 90 days, not for 30 days, pretty much for any of the time frames. They're saying right now they're averaging per day between 1.4 and 1.5. I got about 1.2. It was like 1.9 something. So I got about, 1.19 or something like that. Yesterday, the day before I got 1.6. So there's definitely a range going on here. But it does show me that it's not going to be static. It's not going to happen the same. It's not going to be every day. And that's a really good thing. It does show us that they're doing something in the background there. Okay. So that's your, kind of straightforward up front, but there are ways to boost that particular percentage. And I'll show you that. Now, dynamic income, this is active income. This is income based upon sharing the opportunity, right? So a couple of things have to happen for this to work for you. One, you got to have the amount of users that is required, and you got to have the investment level that's required. So there are, some requirements here. All right. So in order to get that 0.2% boost, 4.4, 0.6, 0.8, that's in addition to what you just saw, right? So if you want to go from 1% to 1.6%, then you have, let's say $10,000 investment, and that's 10,000, frontline. Then you have 12 people with $100 each minimum. You will be able to get that additional 0.6% into your daily ROI. Okay. So that's how these numbers work. If you put in 1,000 and you have 3 people on your front line, then, what they call first level agent or something like that, then you're going to get an additional 0.2%. So if you already have, let's say 0.8%, right? If you're already earning 0.8% because of what you chose to do at the pledge level, then you come to the dynamic level and you have at least 3 people, you have at least 1,000 in, then you're going to get that additional 0.2%. Okay. And so that's what I was looking at mine and saying, okay, let me calculate this. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm in this range, but I saw that I was getting additional. And I was like, okay, all right, it's working. Right. And so if you have $1,000 invested and you have at least 3 people sponsored, then you're going to be able to claim that 0.2% in addition to what you pick, 1 day, 7 day, 30 day, or 90-day terms. Then if you have 5,000 invested, like it says here, 6 people frontline, then you're going to be able to get an additional 0.4% and so on, right? 20,000 invested, which when I listened to some strategy on this by some of the really, people that's been in it for, it's only been around. So I guess I forgot to mention that. The actual opportunity that we see, that we're involved with, it came out April 13th, 2022. April 13th, 2022. So you're looking at about a month and a half it's been on the ground, and we just heard about it last week. And there was like 2 actual videos when I first started, 2 videos that I could find on YouTube, and they were okay. Not saying that, they wouldn't have convinced me to sign up, but somebody said, hey, I'm putting it out there. And I do nothing but applaud, that effort, because it did provide information. And I'm sure since that was the only one that did an actual breakdown and it did how to fund your account. So that's how early it is that there was literally 1 or 2 videos on YouTube, literally. But there was many conference calls and things like that, right? Because nobody had anything to really show because they weren't YouTubers, right? And so they weren't presenting it in that way. But since we're here, we're here to open that door. So anybody and everybody on this call and beyond can say, I'm in, because you can see how this works. And we want to make sure that we provide that to you, right? And so 10,000 deposited, you get 12 people registered, and they put in at least $100 the minimum, then you're going to get a boost value of 0.6%. You put into 20,000, which is this kind of the strategy call. The guy talked about, if you want to really maximize your opportunity and earn that, 2.6% a day, then put in 20,000, invite 24 people that puts in a minimum of $100, and then you can increase that particular ROI or income ratio. So think about that, but that's for another call. All right. Team benefits. So those that are team builders, those that have people that you have a community, you have a team, you have, maybe you're in network marketing and you have seen some great platforms come and go. Now you want to make sure your team is taken care of. Then this is part of that process. After you make your pledge, your funds are in there and you're earning, that up to 1.8%. Then let's say you have 1,000 or more in there and you have X amount of people already in your organization, then you're going to increase that with the boost that we just showed you up to 2.6%. So about 3%, just to give you a round number, right? Because there are other boosts that's not in this presentation that I can talk about. Then you get to the team. So you're building a team. You got 3 levels that you're able to get commissions on. Now, in this day and time, I see this more often than I've seen in the past. When somebody deposit their particular pledge, right? $1,000, $10,000, whatever they put in, and you sponsored them, you're not going to get 20% of that 10,000. You're getting 20% of the profit that they earn off of that 10,000. Okay. So you can calculate that out. I'm not doing all of that right now because we, been on for a while. This is more about the awareness piece and connecting the dots. So you at least have a level of confidence that it is legit. That's what this is for today. But these are the 3 levels that you can earn additional income on the teams that you build. And those will definitely reward you handsomely, because when you start to see the numbers grow, then there's additional bonuses that I don't even have slides for that you can earn. They have bonuses where they'll pay you to help manage your team because you have increased your level of participation with a certain amount on the front line, your first level with a certain amount of volume. Then there's qualifications for $300 a week as bonuses. There's qualifications for $800 a week as leaders and managers and executives or partners in the organization. This is bigger than what we're showing you today, but this is just to give you that awareness. As I said in my goal statement, here to make you aware and connect the dots to give you confidence in participating in the program.
How does a new user pledge in CoinHub? Step 1. Open Coinbase wallet. Deposit the USDT amount you want to pledge and do first payment of the ETH miners fee. Step 2. Click the DAPP browser of the money bag and then click the browser to put into the CoinHub knot. Step 3. After putting in the CoinHub knot, click Return in the lower right corner to enter CoinHub. Step 4. Put in the invitation code and click OK to finish the registration. Step 5. Click the 3 dots in the upper right corner. Step 6. Click Add to Bookmarks to save the bookmark for easy access to the CoinHub account. Step 7. Click Account and then click Subscription to save the USDT token in CoinHub for further AI quantitative trading. Step 8. Enter deposit amount and click Subscription. The system will prompt Pay ETH miners fee. Step 9. Click Confirm to finish the payment of the ETH miners fee. After the payment, the capital will be saved in the account. Step 10. Finish the deposit process and the capital will be shown in the account balance. Click Pledge in the lower left corner to enter the pledge page. Step 11. Enter the pledge amount, 100. Choose pledge period, 1 day, and then click Pledge to finish the pledge process. Step 12. Click Redemption to check the pledge record. Step 13. Click Income to get the income. The system distributes the pledge every hour. The above is the process of the CoinHub pledge. Have you got it?